Hello and good morning, and welcome to the Week 12 Fantasy Football Lounge presented by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your MC for this Sunday morning, Justin Bruni. Joining me today is Mr. Emerson Beery. How are we doing, sir?
Fabulous, just getting going. Got off the bar last night, working the bar last night. I'm a bartender, so yeah, a little bit of a late night, but got my McDonald's coffee. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, right on, right on. I got my energy drink. We're ready to get rolling here into Week 12. Before we get started with any start-sit questions, we're just going to pop in some names that are not expected to play today. Excuse me, ruled out. A couple of game time decisions and players that are expected to play. Emerson, if you want to start with those.
Hey, yeah, here on Fantasy Pros, we have on not expected to play Jamar Chase, Raheem Mostert, Justin Fields, Greg Dortch, and Allen Robinson. So that I'm just now hearing that about Jamar Chase before the show here. That's very disappointing. I was just inserting him in some lineups this week, so that's a big bummer if he's not able to play this week. So I'm hoping for a miracle, but I'm about to have to, after I get off the show here, I'm about to have to go bench him in a lot of different leagues.
Damn. Who else are we looking at?
Oh, you want to keep going? All right, here we go. So we have ruled out. We have Joe Mixon, Leonard Fournette, Jerry Jeudy, Isaiah Likely, KJ Hamler, Mike Williams, Rondale Moore. Oh, my computer's giving me a pop-up. Hold on. Kadarius Toney, Romeo Doubs, Jalen Warren, game time decisions, Terrace Marshall Jr., and Tyler Higbee. Just some implicate, Jerry Jeudy, obviously, he might be another week away. It seems like he's trending more toward playing. Joe Mixon was obviously out because of the concussion last week. We thought that was going to be the case. Fire up Rachaad White. Leonard Fournette is, he's not going to play. And, that was kind of the concern with Rachaad White most of the week. He's probably locked in at least probably borderline top 15 running back this week. DeAndre Hopkins and Marquise Brown are probably going to get a really high target share with Rondale Moore and Zach Ertz out. Juju Smith-Schuster is going to play today, and with Kadarius Toney not playing and Marquez Valdes-Scantling not doing too much, I think he's going to have a big day today as well. And last, expected to play, we have Gus Edwards, Devin Duvernay, Logan Thomas, Josh Jacobs, and Deebo Samuel. Josh Jacobs owners don't have to be too concerned about that anymore. That was a late add to the injury report, and I was getting a little concerned. But you can fire up Josh Jacobs in a good spot against Seattle this week. And I actually like Devin Duvernay a lot this week, too. Lamar Jackson has struggled recently, but I'm firing up Devin Duvernay in some DFS lineups because, I think, he's due for a good game, and he's just not going to be that popular, especially on DraftKings and FanDuel this week. So I'm firing up Devin Duvernay in some spots.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We got questions rolling in the chat here. Let's get to them. We got Week 12 on the books. Only a few weeks left of the fantasy regular season, so we got to make every bit count. We got Mechie DeGoat in the chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. Tua or Herbert this Week 12. What are you feeling there, Emerson?
I'm still going Tua. It's just Justin Herbert just has a few top 5 quarterback performances this season, really. And I'm leaning on Tua. He's been consistently the better quarterback, and he's in a solid spot this week. The risk is that the Texans are so bad against the run that they just get into a comfortable lead and just ride Jeff Wilson. But, I'm still, it's tough for me. I couldn't put Herbert above Tua this week. But, towards the season, as Keenan Allen, Mike Williams get a little bit more healthy, I could see it happening. But I'm going Tua this week.
I do actually have Herbert ahead of Tua this week. I have Herbert at number 4, and I have Tua at number 7 this week. And it's just based on the matchup. You would kind of tip the hand to it, right? Houston has been very good up against wide receivers and quarterbacks. They haven't been very good against running backs. So I'm buying that narrative. I'm buying that Jeff Wilson and the run game will get used a little bit more. You may see Tua maybe even sneak one in the red zone. You may even run one in, but I'm feeling like there's just a little bit less upside for him to have a big booming performance, whereas Arizona is a much, much better matchup for Herbert, who's getting Keenan Allen back. Obviously, Mike Williams isn't there, but he's already looked really good with Palmer. He's looked good with Everett, so I trust him there. Next up, we've got Evan. Appreciate you, Evan. We've got half-point PPR, David Montgomery or Chris Olave. I think we're both going to lean Chris Olave. Still kind of a tougher matchup for Montgomery up against the Jets run defense, and they're going to be down Justin Fields this week, it looks like.
It's tough for me. It would be one of those situations where I would say actually the floor is with, David Montgomery is going to get a lot of carries today. Without Justin Fields playing, Khalil Herbert on IR, he's going to get a lot of work today. So I think, if you need that 10 to 12 points, I think he's locked in for it. The upside still might be with Chris Olave. You're right. The Jets defense has been pretty stout this year. But so I'm leaning. That's tough. Like I said, if I needed just 10 to 15 points, I might need Montgomery. But if I needed a big performance, I would lean Olave.
Yeah, I got to go with Olave. He's just been that deep threat for the Saints. Coming into last week, he was second in the league in air yards. I'm not sure if he still maintained that or if he's gone up to number one. Got to imagine he's still top 5. So for that, just that big play opportunity in a game where I actually believe that we're going to get more points in the 49ers and the Saints than we are with the Jets and the Bears, I'll take the, more scoring upside potential there. But it is very close, especially when you have that half-point PPR. Michi back with Debo or Mike Evans. I lean towards Mike Evans because of the volume, the passing volume in that Tampa offense. Love me some Rachaad White. Definitely want to fire him up. But because you do have, kind of a lesser depth, we'll say, at the running back position, I feel like we could see a bigger week in week 12 for Godwin and Mike Evans. So I'm going to go with Mike Evans. And just the opposite side, Debo, there's just so many weapons now, right? You have the dual-headed running game between CMC and Elijah Mitchell. Ayuk has been spurring. George Kittle looks really good again, with the offense, the way it's rolling with all these weapons. So just because of that, I feel like there's maybe one too many mouths to feed in San Fran. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, that it's close. I have Mike Evans there as well. Debo Samuel is always, he's capable of having a big game. But just like you said, you just never know when it's going to happen because there's Ayuk, there's Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell's getting carries. Of course, George Kittle is going to be heavily involved. So, Garoppolo, he's been having a really good year, but he's just not that high volume passer to have, 3 to 4 fantasy relevant targets. So, it could be Debo had a great game last week. It's just kind of going to probably be boom and bust the rest of the way for him. So I would lead Mike Evans as well.
All right, then we got Ryan H in the chat saying, pick 2, please, standard league. Thank you, Ryan. Keenan Allen, Christian Watson, Christian Kirk, DK Metcalf, Brandon Ayuk, or Josh Palmer. Jesus. Last week he put in Keenan and Palmer, went off, benched Watson, and played Tony. Shake my head. I don't know if that's Tony Pollard. Or...
He's probably talking about Kadarius Tony. Or could be talking. He's probably talking about Kadarius Tony.
Gotta work on your spelling there, Ryan. But that's all right. We appreciate you.
No, maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maybe he's talking about Tony Pollard. I don't know.
No. This is tough because
either way, they had bad games last week. Tony
right.
Pollard and Kadarius Tony were disappointing last week. So no matter who Ryan's talking about, he had a tough day.
Right. This is tough because it's standard. I like the matchup for Metcalf. I think he should be a lock. I feel like he fits the mold of a standard wide receiver, big playability, likely to score a touchdown.
He's been more of a middling wide receiver too recently. Since Geno Smith is kind of, he's regressed more into back end quarter, more like a borderline quarterback 1 as opposed to kind of that top 7, top 8 play he was earlier in the year.
Right.
We've seen Lockett kind of float into that back end wide receiver 2 range, and we've seen Metcalf kind of be in that mid wide receiver 2 range now. So it's tough. I would put in Keenan Allen. I think I've been getting him in a lot of play, especially in my battle royales that I've been covering. I've been drafting a lot of Keenan Allen, and I might actually lean Christian Kirk. Actually, I like him in a good spot this week. I believe the Baltimore Ravens are 26th in fantasy points given up to wide receivers this year. So I actually like him in a good spot this week. But it's close between Kirk and Metcalf for me. But I would definitely do Keenan Allen, close between the other two.
Just forgot about Kirk sitting there. I was about to agree with you and go Allen and Metcalf, but then it's tough. Arizona also not very good for wide receivers. Like I'd already mentioned, they're top 10 in receptions allowed to the wide receiver position. So I'm going to stick with my guns in Keenan and Metcalf. I feel like it could be a big Metcalf week. I feel like there's the potential for that. How are we doing, Gary? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen.
No cigar. It's 10:10 in the morning.
Yeah. Nope.
Well, you're late.
I left him outside today.
Left him
Oh.
outside.
Yeah.
Unreal.
You know what's funny is the little tidbit, but that very first one I joined you guys a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
Did you notice? I was smoking, but I was wearing a breast cancer shirt.
I did.
Right?
I did not.
Right?
Somebody should have memed
marketing.
it. That would have been a great meme. Oh, darn it.
Apologies, folks. My wife had breast cancer, and well, I mean, she's in remission. She's better, but whatever.
Awesome.
But yeah. So, but yeah, that's not how that's supposed to come across. So
Oh,
she
boy.
wasn't home that day, so I cheated a little bit here in the studio.
She didn't dress you that Sunday.
Right.
I
Oh,
need that
that's
as
funny.
well. I get it.
You started early though. I thought we was going at a later time. I come in. I saw. I'll be right back. I went and get coffee, and I come back, and you guys are live. I'm like,
We've been talking offense anyway. Yes, there's
Yeah.
nothing you'd be
Cool.
interested in. It's
No.
fine.
I'm talking about that morning. So that's
Oh,
I
that
would have
morning.
changed that, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I might have. I don't know.
All right.
At
Well, let's
least
get back to the
thought
chat
about it.
here.
Yeah.
We will throw out some IDP questions coming up. I know we just had another
No
young
problem.
king enter the
Oh,
lounge.
yeah.
We got Chris Olave or Juju Smith-Schuster. We'll start with Andrew, the TD King.
Oh
Rob,
man, throw
what do
him
you
in
think
there.
about this question, sir? Walking in the front door.
On the contrarian here, I'm gonna go Juju. Actually,
Okay. Okay.
if he's good to go, 100%, I take Juju. I have him as a top 20 wide receiver this week. I have Olave like right behind him as well. I just worry about the matchup. I think the workload will still be there. Anywhere from 6 to 9 targets probably for Olave. But on the upside, I'll take Juju here.
What do you
I
think,
actually
Emerson?
agree. I agree with that. I would also take Juju here. I think he's underrated. Just because he's didn't play last week, I don't think he's getting a lot of love this week. And I think he's a top 15 play. He's a top 15 play for me this week. And I think he's gonna have a big day. Patrick Mahomes is on. He's the MVP right now. And I expect those targets to be concentrated between him and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, we got a clean sweep. He's looked really good when healthy with Patrick Mahomes. The numbers are there to back it up. It's an easier pick for me. Olave just playing with a lesser quarterback. I do think it can really any week right now can be a big week for Chris Olave given his utility and that Saints offense. It's just that they get so creative with their play calling. You never know where it's going to fall. We got Kevin in the chat saying, "What it do, baby?" Appreciate you, Kevin. How should I feel about this Cleveland weather? Have Brady and Rashad White going against Godwin. Who do we have a fantasy weatherman? I feel like that should be on the offseason.
I can tell you right now, I'm currently watching Fantasy Now on ESPN. Obviously not for their takes because their takes are terrible, but because they do the weather on here. It literally, they were just showing the Buccaneers and Browns game. It is raining really hard. It's expected to get over an inch of rain during the game and gust up to 25 to 30 miles per hour, like with a steady wind of like 18 to 20.
Yeah, it's nasty here in Ohio, man. It's nasty.
Let's move the game to
It'll be
Detroit. Let's figure it out.
Move the game to Detroit.
Let's figure it out.
I
It's not
love
that
the
far.
running backs. I love the running backs in this game. It sucks if you have to play a quarterback here, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Brady could still throw for a touchdown or two, to make it, a decent day. But I love Rashad White and Nick Chubb.
I feel like this is the type of situation that iron sharpens iron. And right now, Tom Brady is 2-0 post-divorce. Not sure if you've seen, but he's also been diving into the DMs.
Jeez.
He's getting after it.
Oh,
The dog is back.
savage. Savage.
I'm just saying we could see another level of the aged Tom Brady. I mean, he could step it up a notch.
Oh man, I tell you, that's hilarious. I'll tell Andrew will just put people on blast too. I see out on Twitter sometimes, just calling people out for their take. I'm just like, oh my god, like, woo! I'm just like, geez. Oh man, I love it though. I love it. You know what? It's a little concerning this week, the weather. But yeah, I mean, Tom Brady. It's not like he's been. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that he hasn't been like a high volume, 300-yard passer anyway. Quarterback plays a little bit down anyway. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a downgrade for him this week. I still think he can clear 200 yards passing or so. So, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, top borderline, kind of top 15 plays for me this week, kind of floating around that range.
Yep.
All right. We also got. Oh yeah, I'll just go ahead. I was going to take it away. Pickens, Cooks, or Pacheco over these guys. Rashad White, Wilson. T. Higgins, Olave, Kamara, Aaron Jones. I don't think you need to do that.
Absolutely not. Yep. Keep all those guys in.
Brady and Leo going to be tearing it up and up and under the 25. Well, Leo will be out, I believe, or is it doubtful?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he's going to be out. So,
Mhm.
all right, let's get into some quick IDP questions here. I want to get
I think he's talking about. Okay, I read it again. Brady and Leo going to be tearing up the under 25s in the offseason, meaning women.
Oh, I see what he
and
said.
Leo
Oh,
D.
God.
And Leo D. Getting
that's funny.
caught with the fantasy blinders on,
That's hilarious.
Oh,
That's
sort of
really funny. That's good.
conversation, Oh, no, dude, that would be hilarious. I mean, they could make a movie out of that.
You know what? I actually would, though. Man, I feel like Jeff Wilson's pretty. Oh man, it's tough. It's tough between Jeff Wilson and Rachaad White for me. That's a tough. Yeah, we got the joke after a second, Kevin. We saw it.
I was like, what's he talking about in the offseason? What does that mean? I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't get it.
Oh man, that's really close between Jeff Wilson and Rachaad White for me, though. Oh man, I feel like I have him really close to my rankings. But
it's Jeff Wilson season.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Jeff Wilson Jr., I might consider throwing him in there over Rachaad White, just with a kind of an ugly game today. Just being such a good matchup.
Let's see. We got DeMarcus Robinson or Burks full point PPR. I saw Robinson came up as a late question mark. Feel like Burks is the start there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would lean Burks. I have him probably pretty close in my rankings. Just with Devin Duvernay playing today, I think DeMarcus Robinson will be firmly in that number 3 role. Lamar Jackson hasn't been throwing that. I think I wrote for my I talked about in my Underdog podcast this week that Lamar Jackson only has like one game in the last 5 or 6, which with over 210 passing yards. So it's probably going to be a lot of Mark Andrews. Devin Duvernay potentially if he has a slightly bigger day, and there probably just won't be a lot of room for DeMarcus Robinson.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. All right, Gary, IDP questions.
Sure.
Talking linebackers. Frankie Louvu. He's got a couple of decent games here in a row, but he's been, kind of up and down all season.
Mm-hmm.
Or my boy, the rebirth of Roquan Smith, Jack Sanborn.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and roll with Sanborn. The ceiling is going to be a lot higher there. He seems to be producing. It doesn't really matter what the matchup is. I mean, he's not even in on every down. He's coming off for passing down. So, but his ceiling is just there. It's it's like I hate to use this term productive by default because he's actually playing up to par. I mean, he's just under par for a rookie, undrafted rookie. I mean, he's burning it up. So, but with the Louvu, I'm not a big fan of this matchup. I'm just making sure who they got
against who they got. Denver,
right? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan comparably. I think the floors are the same, but the ceiling is a lot higher on Sanborn.
Okay, I got another linebacker one. C.J. Mosley or Drew Tranquil. Tranquil been pretty.
That was actually a tough one.
He's been pretty solid, but he had a little bit of a dip last week. But I feel like he's got the safe floor. But Mosley's been pretty reliable as well. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm actually this week I'm definitely going to go with C.J. Mosley. I like that matchup a lot better versus. Let's see who they got. Chicago. Yeah. Mosley just eats too. He's another one of those ones that really it doesn't matter what the matchup is, and this matchup is a lot more favorable than Tranquil's. And I'm a Tranquil fan, man. I mean, he's been on my radar for about 3 years now. So he was a bust out call of mine like 3 years ago. So it's good to see that guy got healthy and took over the job he should have had a couple of years ago.
All right, let's look at some defensive linemen. I
got 3 bets, man. I'm 7-7 for the last 2 weeks. If you guys want some sack bets real quick.
Some sack bets? What do you got?
Oh, man, I love free money. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, but I had it on a roll. I got to quit riding Isaiah Boggs, man. DraftKings had that dude in for the last 3 weeks, including Thursdays, an interior defensive line run stuffing hole stop guy. Only time he gets a tackle is if somebody runs into him or he reaches out, not had a sack all year. So it rode that train for 3 weeks, man, on some high odds. But anyhow, So we're going to ride with. I want to take Lorenzo Carter again against Washington. Their top 5 allowing production, and Carter's been showing up when the matchup is right. I had him last week. It was only a top 10, and he still got it. So I'm going to ride that out again. Let's see, them Burns against Denver. We're going to give him a go. Of course, that's kind of a, but these are my ringers. So, and TJ Watt, of course. Can't believe DraftKings. Now, I'm not throwing out the lines. I probably should have. Excuse me, folks, that I'm not. But it's either you get a sack or you don't. The only one that doesn't have that right now is TJ Watt. He only has to get a half a sack. So half sack. They only got him at 0.25 on DraftKings. So
what's Nick Bosa's number looking at? He has sacks in 1, 2, 4 straight.
Oh man,
starts.
they got the Saints. Saints are tough because I actually almost took this line on Bukuma. No, Sam's Ebukam.
Abakam?
Yeah. Samson Ubicon. Yeah. Okay. So they got him. I was going to take the under because the Saints are like bottom 5 or something, allowing production off the edge. So as far as Nick Bosa, that's a whole different ball game.
I feel like you could get a free one just on a random Taysom Hill, just like slide to the ground. He gets caught with his pants down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Nick Bosa, they only got him at 0.25 too. So, it's a matter of having his hand on a guy when he does get sacked. But yeah, surprisingly, the Saints aren't allowing a huge amount of production off the edge. That's why I would just, when it comes to Nick Bosa, I mean, the numbers say under. So I'll definitely take him on that Ubicon or whatever, Ubican. I ain't going to be able to say it, man. I'm terrible at names. But I definitely take it on him. If it wasn't one of my ringers, he was an option.
What do you like for my Commanders here? You like Payne, Allen, or Sweat? Any of those to get a sack?
Actually, Sweat's not. Because they're holding Young out another week, aren't they?
Yep.
Give me 1
I
second.
saw that. I picked him up in a keeper league.
Oh, nice.
Picked up Young.
Chase Young. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be I'm going to be in last place. We just get one defensive keeper, so
that's
just kind of a dart throw.
Oh yeah, and defensive end or edge rusher is a great one to stash like that because usually in balanced formats, their value is as an IDP play, if they're any good, is a lot larger than any other because, for the fact there's only like 10 of them that you can really use. You know what I mean? That are constant and up there. But as far as they're going against Atlanta, right?
Yep.
So that's a top 15. I mean, Sweets, he's been on it, right? He's been consistent. Look at that line.
On DraftKings, they're all at 0.75, and the overs are Payne plus 160, Allen plus 120, and Sweat plus 125.
Let me look up Sweat real quick. I'm going to say the bet. I would probably go the over. Because everything's lining up. I just want to look at his average.
Let me toss you a starter sit for some defensive backs.
Sure.
Let's see. No, he is out. Let's go with Richie.
Give Sweet his due. I'd take the over.
Okay.
All right. What do you think about Richie Grant versus Talanoa Hufanga? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Talking about the 49ers strong safety?
Yeah.
I call him
or
Hoffman
Richie,
because I can't say that. Hoffman.
Him or Richie Grant. Richie Grant took a little bit of a dip, but he's been we'll say a highlight in the IDP fantasy football community the past 4 weeks or so.
Not loving him, man. He's not even showing up. I'm looking at my app. There's so many. I mean, you got so many guys. I just want to make sure we get this. Yeah, I got it.
Well, I have them both as top 10 at the DB position. So,
actually, that's not bad at all. I would probably comparably. I would go Grant. By a hair. Okay. Just thinking. Hoffman, it's that close. Yeah, and they're running 3 safeties now with the 49ers. They've been putting Ward in there with Gibson. I think maybe Ward took a dip in snaps last week, but they had done like 3 weeks before. So, and then they got 2 healthy linebackers in front of Hoffman. And that's why he hasn't been producing like he had been early on when they first started the season. Al Shazier was out and Greenlaw was out. So, but yeah, that's a good one. Grant.
All right, let me get. I wanted to ask you a defensive line one. You had asked Andrew about the Commandos, so I'm gonna put Jonathan Allen in there. Jonathan Allen or Grover Stewart.
Man, these are some good ones. You're just Grover just broke out this year, man. He's been hit or miss.
I just played a little bit of IDP, so.
Well, yeah,
a little bit,
because when you're going up against a stud like that. Okay, let's go ahead and.
This is tough. I don't know how y'all do it. The defense is a whole.
Emerson's like Grover who?
Animal. Yeah,
right.
Like, what are you guys talking about?
He's a defensive tackle for Indianapolis. So, and Indianapolis has got who?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Remind me.
Red Rover send Grover over.
That's a great song to take. Yes, that's a good one. Take that one. I agree. Start that song.
I'm more leaning towards Allen, but that's me.
Yeah, I mean, just out of shit.
I just like the matchup up against Atlanta.
Yeah,
they're gonna run.
I mean, Atlanta's top 12, and then you got to give Allen his due, so that's another boost up to. Yeah, he's up there. I definitely
flag
go
on the
Allen.
play, Emerson.
I know. I dropped my phone. Sorry, guys.
Unreal.
Just to make sure here, man. Who's Indianapolis got again?
Good question.
Steelers.
Yep, Sunday Night Football.
Or no, isn't it Monday night?
I hope it's Sunday night because I put it in one of my cards,
10 too.
and I would really like it to get the results today.
All right, so that's it.
What's the Sunday night matchup tonight? Hold on. Why did I already forget? It's because I'm still not through my coffee yet.
Yeah, Sunday night is Packers Eagles. Steelers Colts tomorrow night.
Steelers Colts tomorrow night.
That means I have to wait for my 9 card to cash tomorrow. That sucks. I hate that.
Yeah, I do that by accident too, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, I don't like to do that. I like to do the 1 o'clocks. I like to do the midday parlays, and then I like to do the whole card. Damn.
So
yeah, your day's ruined. I think Sunday's done.
Really quick, we are presented by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. The sports books opened up in Maryland on the 23rd, and I blessed the BetMGM app with a Jamal Williams first touchdown for my first bet on the app. It was fantastic. Welcome to the state.
Christmas, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. I was loving it.
That's how you do it.
I can't wait to expand our horizons because we're finally getting prop bets legal in Ohio come January. So it's like, oh man, sitting still and just making bets from the sideline just sucks.
And it doesn't make sense to me because underdog still isn't available here.
Right?
I still can't do the underdog pick'ems. It makes no sense.
Well, I can't do underdog pick'ems either. In Colorado, I can't do I can do over under on fantasy points.
Right.
I can do over under on fantasy points, but I can't do over under on any yardage totals or anything like that.
Did they finally put the fantasy points back on Underdog? Because I was using those for my preview show every week, and then 3 weeks ago they're like, "Nah, we're done."
No, I don't think they have. I do prize picks for the fantasy points one.
Someone's been telling me to get on prize picks. Is it going to be worth my time or what?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's very similar to the underdog pick. It doesn't have the fantasy side of underdog, but it's very similar.
Who copied picks. Who was first to platform?
It was probably, I would just guess the prize picks. Underdog is so new. I would guess the prize picks was longer, but I'm just speaking out of nothing, thin air there.
Well, I was using Thrive for a while. They were paying me a little bit of money to talk about some of their stuff.
Bovada back in the day, back when we couldn't bet league.
Back in the day, you mean last week? before gambling became legal in my state?
So last week for Justin over here, but yeah, it was a while back for me getting on the Bovada account.
So I actually discovered Bovada, not to get too far off the fantasy conversation here because we're having a good talk. But I've discovered that website by playing poker. That's how I found out about Bovada, was playing online poker. So
I thought you were going to say through Lisa Ann.
Shots fired.
Damn.
Okay.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Damn.
Lisa
It
Ann, she's
wasn't.
a nice lady.
She's a nice lady. Great gal. Great gal. Anyways, before we get really down the rabbit hole, speaking of Lisa Ann, let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I think it's an interesting piece. I've got him rated the highest here of the SGPN Fantasy Crew. I've got him at number 10 this week. He's been somebody that I've been banging the drum for as a late season buy to carry you into the playoffs. It certainly worked out well for me last week. He's got a good matchup this week up against the New Orleans Saints. I'm just going to toss out a couple of starter sit questions. Here's a really good one. Tom Brady. We just got done talking about the weather. Would you rather throw out Tom Brady in the monsoon in Cleveland or Jimmy Garoppolo in a nice, comfy no, he's at home. Never mind. I thought he was going to New Orleans. All right, so Jimmy at home. I don't know what the weather like is in San Fran, or Tom Brady, TB12 in the storm.
I would take. I would lean Jimmy here. Tom Brady. It would have already been a question anyway. I would have probably taken Jimmy ahead of him anyway. So I would. I'll go ahead and lean Jimmy G here, in some I think fairly clear weather. Yeah, just a couple clouds in San Francisco. So I'll take Jimmy Garoppolo here. A lot of weapons. You don't know which weapon's going to pop off, but it's good for Jimmy. So
agree.
Andrew, who do you got?
Yeah, agree. If the weather was nice in Cleveland, I'd rather have Brady there. I think he's going to want to throw the ball a little bit more. But since it is monsooning, I don't feel like you can start him confidently. So I take Jimmy G.
What do we think about? Oh, go ahead, Gary.
No, don't ask me. I'd go Garoppolo based off of what you guys say. Hey, man, I do IDP. I'll just sit here and listen. I enjoy this. So I got to learn somehow, right? 20 years playing, and I got to restart how to learn. Apparently, the way that I drafted this year, I do need to start paying better attention to offense.
Unreal. You do know you need both sides.
Well, it just went left. This whole year just went left, man. About 2 months when I talked to Justin back in June, everything kind of took
I changed Gary's life forever.
Yes, you started a domino effect that put me in. Like I wasn't able to pay attention to shit but my own. That was it. So I don't see how people do IDP. Pardon me?
Nothing.
Let me ask you a question. So when you have a person that's capable of doing offense and IDP at the same time, how is that possible to be 100% on both?
Well, you're not. that's the beauty of it. Is like, this week my offense sucked. My defense carried me to a win. This week my defense sucked. My offense carried me to a win. And if you get both right, you score the most points in the league that week.
Right. I was talking from an analyst.
He was talking from an
analyst, and you're covering both. How you guys do offense on your own, right? You don't do IDP. How much freaking free time do you have that you can pick up the IDP and take it on like you do the other? So sometimes it bothers me a little bit. So I've always stuck to IDP for 7 years, nothing but IDP. But yeah, this year offense went to shit. Too much Mooney. Too
much Mooney.
Yeah, just too much shit.
Too much Cole Kmet.
No, actually I avoided him, but yeah, it still didn't matter.
It didn't matter anyway.
Speaking of Cole Kmet, brings up a nice segue there. Emerson, let's talk some underdog picks this week. And I got Rob here too. I got my underdog guys here. Let's talk some underdog ADP picks. People are still probably doing some drafts before we're kicking into lineups. Cole Kmet was the one that helped me cash big a couple of weeks back. With the Justin Fields stack. I'll shoot it to you guys this week. Are you going Travis Kelce or are you going Mark Andrews this week? I know Emerson, you're always talking about we need that booming tight end production. Which way you going?
Oh my goodness! It's not a conversation anymore. Mark Andrews is. We need to be. Mark Andrews or George Kittle. I think is the best. Travis Kelce by himself. He usually goes 1-1 in the battle royale. Anyway, he's usually the first pick in the draft. So Mark Andrews, he's in that second round. He's a little bit cheaper. Mm-hmm. I actually like George Kittle around later, but I'm definitely getting some exposure to Mark Andrews this week, though, too. I just highlighted earlier that I like Lamar Jackson, as a GPP play this week, but, it's kind of more for, some bigger tournament, which, that's what the Battle Royale is a bigger tournament. So it's perfect for Mark Andrews. I don't mind George Kittle around, though, later.
I got Andrews as the number 1 this week. I got him over Kelsey. I like the matchup. Hey, shake your head.
All right.
Shake your head.
All right.
Where's my flags?
I'll take that bet.
Yeah. Me too.
I'll take it too.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Just those touchdowns, like Travis Kelce. He has like 12 touchdowns on the year already. He's just been insane.
You want to do a nice little $10 charity bet?
Yeah,
sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Are you going to bet each of us $10, or are we splitting it?
Fuck it. It's for charity. I'll go with you both. Screw it.
All right, let's do it.
So just most fantasy points scored, right?
Yeah, per the Underdog app. We'll use that scoring. So whoever has more.
Half point PPR. Okay.
Yeah. Just the Underdog app.
Whoa. You guys are getting ready to do a DFS draft without me? Just because I'm
not drafting.
No,
We're not drafting.
It's the Underdog Battle Royale, which you should join if you can, Gary.
It's already full, by the way.
Is it? It's already full?
Oh, yeah. It was 84% or 85% last night. I was doing a couple and woke up this morning to try to put another one in. Already filled. Gone.
Wow.
Well,
that's kind of shitty. I only had one in.
I was going to do a couple more when I got
this
off
week.
The show
me too.
Yeah, I got
this week. It was a lot less because they had the 3 games on the Thursday slate, so there was only 33,000 spots available as opposed to like the normal 55,000.
Because people were doing the turkey run one.
Yep. The only one left, I believe, is the Super Team Shootout, which is the main slate Week 12 3-person drafts, $5, 3,000 first. That's the only one available, I believe.
Boo.
Yeah,
right,
what's the
deal,
Underdog?
The one team that I have actually has Travis Kelce on it. The one team that I have has Travis Kelce on it.
Nice. My buddy who's
counterintuitive.
my buddy who's never done an Underdog Battle Royale draft. I sent him my article and whatnot, and he was reading. He's like, "All right, I guess I'll do one." He literally sent it to me this morning. He was a number 1 overall pick. Took Travis Kelce, and Mahomes fell to him. So he has a Kelce and Mahomes.
That's awesome.
No,
it's Mahomes and Kelce, and then Jeff Wilson, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, and Keenan Allen. I'm like, damn, man. The stars literally aligned for his one lineup that he put in.
Damn.
That is nuts. It's just like I don't even put Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes as an option to stack because I've never seen it.
I'm not even close yet.
Yeah, so it's like a unicorn.
Let me go through the one lineup that I have. I've got Kelce, who I took at the 1-2. Actually, I don't remember who went, but I had 1-2. Then I have Keenan Allen, Christian Kirk, Josh Jacobs, Kenny Walker, Joe Burrow. Who's gonna be the odd man out here? Is it gonna be Christian Kirk?
I don't know. Actually, I think it could be Josh Jacobs.
Damn.
Yeah,
I like that lineup this week.
He's a little banged up.
Man, I have a 54% exposure to Patrick Mahomes. Oh man, that's nice. I like that.
Nice,
damn you.
Yeah.
The only thing that worries me about that game and why I put Andrews over Kelce this week is that I love the matchup for Andrews. Jacksonville is allowing a ton of receiving touchdowns. They've allowed like the second or third most highest to wide receivers. Obviously, Andrews isn't a wide receiver, but that's the role that he plays for the Ravens. So for me, that's where I went with that take, is just that the matchup is really good. And I feel like the Jags and Baltimore will be a competitive game. Whereas I don't feel that game for Kansas City and the Rams is going to be that competitive. They could get up by a lot and just park the bus. And that's really the only thing that concerns me. So we've got Brian in the chat asking Njoku or Ingram for tight end. I like Njoku.
I don't know. With that weather, it scares me. I'll take Ingram.
Damn, good point. Fuck. Fart. I got to get.
Man, that's tough. I have them near back when I do my final rankings. I'll probably have them near back to back just because of that bad weather. But I still almost want to lead Njoku just because of upside. I just feel like he could sneak through a little bit more. I just feel like having Ingram just kind of is what kind of probably 7 or 8 PPR points. I'll take Njoku just in the miracle he can break off a bigger play. But I'm not excited about either play this week.
We got Tucci in the chat. Trevor Lawrence or Derek Carr with Fields out. Who do both have pretty good matchups. I feel like I still lean Derek Carr though.
I mean, that total for the game is much higher than the Lawrence side. Oh man, that's tough.
Game flow.
Oof.
Gentlemen, while you figure this one out, I have a sick old dog, 10-2, and then an appointment somewhere. So, but I might pop back in, see if I get a chance.
All right, man. Hey, take it easy. We'll see you soon, Gary. All right.
Yeah. I might be sending you guys some messages on Twitter to ask who to start.
I love it.
Let us know.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thank
Take
you,
it
sir.
easy.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You're playing the matchup. Derek Carr's been, he's been pretty poor the whole year for fantasy. So you're kind of just trying to play the matchup against Seattle this week. So
he's got 3 straight games with at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I might, it's tough. I might lean the over under. I have him near back to back, but yeah, Derek Carr probably has a little bit more upside with that high over under. So. Maybe you bet on an extra touchdown pass from Derek Carr.
Carr.
Damn. Yeah, that's tough.
Damn.
I have them back to back as well. 14 and 15 in my rankings. You know what? Fuck it. I'll be different. I'll take Lawrence. I think that he might find some running room today and might gain 40, 50 yards on the ground actually. So yeah, I'll take Lawrence. But I'm completely fine with Carr though.
All right. Sounds good. Let's get into some more starter sits. We did a quarterback there with Jimmy. Let's look at, let's see, going down the list here. How are we feeling about Najee Harris this week with Jalen Warren? I believe he's ruled out. Who would you go with, Najee Harris or Cordell Patterson? Cordell Patterson gets the Commandos. Najee Harris gets the Colts.
I will take Harris. In both formats.
Yeah, I'll take Harris just because, Patterson just hasn't seen a full workload since he's been coming back. And, he had a good first game back, but it's been a little rough the last couple of weeks. So I am going to lean Harris as well, especially with Warren out.
Yeah, the matchup's much better for Harris as well. I mean, the Commanders are very good against the run. I mean, look what they just did to Dameon Pierce last week, held him to 8 yards. So, yeah, I will definitely take Harris.
All right, couple of running backs here that have tough matchups on the ground. Samaje Perine at Tennessee, filling in for Mixon, of course, and Donta Foreman against Denver at home.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good one.
I still feel like I lean Donta.
I'll take Perine. Oh, really? I'll take Perine. I mean,
I'll take Perine.
Yeah, the defense is good for Denver. Like they are very, very good. So, I think Foreman might get more opportunities on the ground because obviously the way to beat the Titans is through the air. So, yeah, I mean, I see that angle, but I'll still take Perine.
I don't want the smoke, man. The Titans have allowed 1 rushing touchdown to running backs this season. Crazy stat. Couldn't believe it when I saw it. 1. I don't want the smoke. Pass. Yeah.
I prefer to not start either if you can, but.
Let me see here. I was going to change my background to be more fitting to that take, but I will get up another start sit question first. He already played. Jeez, I was about to throw out a Jacoby Myers question. I don't know how that guy got me the fantasy points that he did. Guy was like constantly hurt in that Thursday game. Like, oh, he made a catch. He's hurt though. Hey, man, he's back. He made a catch. He's hurt again. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, I guess you'll take the 9 PPR points at that point, right?
Yeah, man. I was just like, I have no idea how he did this. I didn't think he's going to come back for the second half. Like, but here's another catch for 13 yards. Like, what the hell? He's hurt again. All right. Deontay Johnson at the Colts, another Steelers Colts pick here, or Curtis Samuel versus Atlanta.
I'm gonna go Curtis Samuel against Atlanta. I'll take the good matchup here. Deontay Johnson is, he just hasn't had a lot of upside. He's not he's always been a volume-based guy. You know what I mean? He's, he's always gotten a ton of, 10 plus targets from Ben Roethlisberger in the majority of his games in the past year and a half. And so when that's not there with Kenny Pickett, he's probably going to struggle. So, is he more likely to get 4 catches for 45 to 50 yards? Probably. But, I'll take the Curtis Samuel in against a bad Atlanta defense.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I'll take the matchup of, on the Samuel side over Johnson. You hit the nail on the head. Like, he just isn't getting the targets that he was getting last year. So I'm not sure that you can really trust Deontay Johnson. I mean, I have him as a low end wide receiver 3. So yeah, I'll take Samuel.
I thought he was like really high in the board for targets. Yeah, he's top 10 this year in targets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's top 10 in targets this season, Deontay Johnson.
And
which
look
is
what
where
he's doing with that.
Oh no, that's exactly where I was going. It's not necessarily the target volume, it's the efficiency. That's the issue with him. It's not that he's not getting the looks, it's that he can't do anything with them because he has bad quarterback play. Honestly, I would prefer Ben Roethlisberger to be back. If he was giving him the same volume, I'd expect him to have double the production. He has 86 targets with 51 catches for 456 yards. That's terrible. The guys in that same like echelon of targets are all 300, 400 receiving yards higher than him. The only one that's close is Michael Pittman, who's been awful, at 678 receiving yards to Johnson's 456. And Pittman has 1 receiving touchdown. Johnson has 1. So I agree with you. I'm staying off Johnson. Give me Curtis Samuel. I'm just saying that the debate isn't on the volume. It's the efficiency. He can't do anything with what he's given.
He started the year off with 4 of his first 6 games were above 10 targets, and then in the last 5 games though 4 of 5 games below 10 targets, and then
he's definitely taken
5 of each in the last 2 weeks. So
absolutely taking a bit of a dip. Well, hey, I don't really have too much concern because Najee Harris is finally back getting those touches. He has 20 carries in his last 2 games, which has been great. Let's get Tone's question answered in the chat. Kamara, Rashad White, or Najee, pick 2. Are we leaving out Kamara here?
No, I'm not gonna leave him out. I'm still gonna start White and Kamara. Najee's gonna have to prove it to me one more week. It just feels like a little bit safer to me to lean on the superstar running back, even though he's had a disappointing last few weeks. I'm still gonna pick him, but of course, one more week could change my mind. But it's tough for me to trust Najee considering what we saw, like everything's outside the last 2 weeks of the season.
I'll take White and Najee, actually. I hate the matchup for Kamara. Now, the caveat here is I could definitely see a situation where Kamara is catching 8 or 9 balls, right? They're down and they're just feeding him, short little passes. If that happens, then he's going to blow Najee out of the water. But I just don't like the matchup as far as, what he can actually do on the ground. So I'll take White and Najee.
Yeah, I'm staying off Kamara. He's hurting me. Under double-digit fantasy points 2 out of the last 3 weeks. He did have double digits last week, but even against the Rams, who have been pretty bad, and they were allowing a lot of receptions to the running back position. He did go 4 for 47 on the air, but on the ground he went 12 for 42. Like, that rushing upside isn't there. He only has 2 games this season over 70 rushing yards. I'm off of it, and it feels like from our discussion so far this morning, Rashad White should be a very reliable start. Given the weather there, they may have to pivot off of that heavy passing game for Tampa. And Najee is just going to get that run with, again, Jaylen Warren being out and the team, seeming more like they want to protect the quarterback and not let Kenny Pickett get overly exposed. Man, Kamara, ticking time bomb, killing me. We've got Mitchell in the chat, Jacobs or Connor. That is a close one.
It's pretty. I have Josh Jacobs pretty clearly ahead. James Conner's a good play this week, but Josh Jacobs is in my upper tier of RB1, so I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs in a good matchup against Seattle. High over under. Derek Carr hasn't been fantastic this season, so that's probably implying some Josh Jacobs touchdowns there. So I'll take Josh Jacobs.
Oh, I do worry about his calf injury. That's a new injury for him, and it just popped up, Thursday, I believe, Thursday or Friday. So I do worry about that a little bit. I like the game script better for Jacobs than I do Connor. Man,
So
I'll say Jacobs if he gets a clean bill of health. If if it shows up today that he's good to go, I'll take Jacobs. If it still says that he's maybe not 100%, then I would definitely lean the Connor way.
Yeah, I think you guys both hit it on the head. I mean, I have Jacobs much higher than Connor, like number 8 to 17 in the rankings. Connor, though, just has that really good matchup, and going up against the Chargers, who have allowed the second most fantasy points to the running back position. Great opportunity in that matchup. Yesterday on the preview show, I did it. What was it? Connor versus who has the best matchup? Oh, Jeff Wilson, because Jeff Wilson has the best matchup going up against Houston, who's allowed the most. And in that situation, I leaned Wilson. And I guess I would say probably the same for Jacobs here. But to your point, Andrew, yeah, if he's not 100%, if you don't get that full, healthy criteria checked off, then yeah, you definitely want to hold off on him. But let's go to the dynasty analysts on this one. What do we think about Josh Jacobs and James Conner this week, Mr. Dave Heilman? How we doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
You mixed up our Twitter names, by the way. He's Dynasty analyst, Dynasty Dorks over there.
Yeah, Dorks. You just call me Dork. That's fine. For this week, I would go with Connor just because he is healthier. I think that the touchdown upside with Connor is there. Normally if both were healthy, it'd be a slam dunk for Jacobs, but we've seen this with him in the past, and sometimes when he's been banged up, he's definitely giving you limited performances.
Right on. I wasn't saying, the dynasty analyst. I was just saying a dynasty analyst of ours. Like, because that'd be really weird if I was just and this dynasty dork is here now. Like, let's hear from him.
I'll tell you this. You're going to be hearing from my lawyers because I have that term copyrighted. So that's
dynasty analyst you've got.
So that's unfortunate. That's a class action lawsuit right there. So.
That's unfortunate for you.
That's fortunate. There we go.
I love it. Hey guys, trade away Dameon Pierce and Lockett for Godwin and Jeff Wilson. I feel pretty good about that. Also, Godwin or Higgins for the rest of the season. Tough with Jamar coming back, but I think I still feel I lead in Godwin there. What do you guys think?
I like the trade.
It takes me a second to digest these early in the morning.
Yeah, I like the trade. Pierce is, he's going back to Dynasty. Like, Pierce has never had a full workload, and he's been getting a full workload. And on top of it, he's getting no blocking. So he's eating like 4 or 5 tackles every time he runs the ball. So he's just breaking down, and you can see it. And so his production slowed down. Plus, this is an offense that is just absolutely god-awful. So if you can get out from under it, like, definitely do so. The touchdown upside on a great offense for Jeff Wilson's amazing. And Higgins and Godwin's for the rest of the season, that's a toss-up. That's pretty close. I'd have to look at the playoff schedule.
Yeah, I lean Godwin and Jeff. If this is a redraft league, definitely Godwin and Jeff Wilson here. I'd take, like you said, Dameon Pierce, hasn't been as productive. He has 1 touchdown in his last 5 games. That Texans offense is rough. I'd take Chris Godwin over him, and I'd take Jeff Wilson over Tyler Lockett. So that's a pretty easy trade for me. Yeah. And I'd lean Higgins the rest of the season just because, I'm just tired of waiting for that Tampa Bay offense to click. So Joe Burrow is rolling this season. They're 6th in the pass plays per game. So I'm going to, unlike last season where they were like 22nd and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase were still really good. They're all the way up to 6th this year. So I'll lean T. Higgins.
I like the trade as well. Godwin, Jeff Wilson. I'd much rather have that side. And I will take Godwin rest of the season.
All right, sounds good. Let's get back to some start or sit questions. What do you guys think about Devontae Smith tonight versus the Packers? The Sunday night game, apparently. Was not aware. Or Josh Palmer at Arizona. What do you guys like here?
Let me look at my rankings here.
Who was the first name again? I'm sorry.
Devontae Smith or Josh Palmer. Yep.
I'm gonna go Palmer. I'm gonna go Palmer here, just because Justin Herbert's gonna throw the ball a lot more than Jalen Hurts is. I know Dallas Goedert is out, but I feel pretty safe with Josh Palmer's production until Mike Williams comes back.
I will take Devontae Smith. Yeah, I think that they're going to put Alexander on A.J. Brown, and that'll open up a window for Devontae Smith. So, yeah, I'll take Smith.
What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I'll go Smith, but I understand the hesitation because the the Philly has a game where it's an AJ Brown game, and then it's a Goddard game, and it's a Devonta Smith. But Smith's been pretty productive with Goddard out, so I'll go that route as well. Similar thoughts with Andrew in regards to, Alexander is definitely going to be following AJ Brown, and it should open up some coverage for him.
Yep, absolutely agree there. I have him about 7 spots ahead of Palmer. I have Palmer at 29, and I have Devonta Smith at 22. So just
I have to look up the Josh. I have a good Josh Palmer stat. Wait till I find it.
Arizona, like I mentioned earlier, they're allowing the 10th most receptions to the wide receiver position, but I feel like a lot of us with that information are kind of fleeting to Keenan Allen and like our daily lineups and our underdog drafts, etc. I had mentioned I have him in my card already, right? So I think that's kind of the sentiment is like, oh, well, Allen's there. You still have Eckler, but no Mike Williams.
Over the last 3 weeks, Joshua Palmer is the wide receiver 4.
Damn.
So
okay, well,
he's on quite a stretch.
Yeah, and I have them 2 spots apart. So this was not an easy one for me, and I do like Palmer a lot. I have them both as wide receiver 2s.
All right, right on. So we got George in the chat. Appreciate you, George. Panthers defense against Denver or Colts Steelers defense? I'm guessing it's Colts versus the Steelers.
I think he's asking about maybe all 3. He could start.
Yeah, so I'm off the Panthers defense because they can't stop the pass. I mean, I know it's Russ Wilson, but I would still expect a decent day from Cortland Sutton.
It depends. It depends. There's couple different types of defensive scoring settings. Some I have that lean toward sacks, where you might want to start the Steelers defense because you might get some more big plays. Matt Ryan is a turnover machine, so you might get some fumbles, interceptions, sacks. If it's just straight up score though, if it's heavily on scoring though, it might be safer to take the Colts defense just because that Steelers offense probably isn't going to score a ton of points. So it depends on kind of the scoring format a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Colts. I'm not the Colts. I'm going to take the Steelers against the Colts because the offensive line. It's just not the same offensive line they've had in the past. And that defense is totally different with TJ Watt back, and they can cause some turnovers and things like that. So if I'm going to bet on somebody making a big play and causing some havoc back there, it's going to be the Steelers. They're all pretty close as far as the Colts and the Steelers, but I'll take the Steelers. That left tackle, then Bernard Raymond, it's pretty bad.
Oh man, yeah, I'll take the Steelers as well. Dave said it best, and I think that they're going to cause some turnovers. So I do like the Steelers better. I think the Colts are also a decent play. I think both these teams are, have the ability to cough the ball up. So yeah, I'll go with the Steelers.
Kenny Pickett, Matt Ryan, take your pick. Somebody's got to throw an interception there. So I'll go with the Colts just because I think that they'll be more likely to score a defensive touchdown. I'll leave it at that. All right. We got Brian in the chat. Appreciate you, Brian. You got start 2, Damian Pierce, full point PPR, Lat Murray, Samaje Perine, and Foreman. I'm too scared to put in Perine. The Tennessee Titans rushing defense is too scary for me. I've mentioned it already. They've only allowed 1 rushing touchdown to the running back position this season. I think I like Foreman and Pierce here. What say y'all?
I like Perine and Pierce. I just feel like, the Bengals still have a pretty high implied total. So, Perine could get some end zone looks. He gets some passing looks as well, which is, get him some extra points in PPR leagues. So I'm going to lean Perine. And, Pierce has, despite the lack of, the Houston's offense isn't that great. Despite the fact that he only has 1 touchdown in the last 5 weeks, he is locked in for a lot of touches every single week. So I'm going to have those 2. And with that, gentlemen, I'm going to let y'all get to it. Take it easy, okay? Good luck this Sunday, and I will talk to y'all soon, okay?
Sounds good, sir. Appreciate you.
Gentlemen.
See ya.
Oh,
Will you take this one, Andrew?
Yeah, I'll take Pierce and Perine. Definitely not Murray. Potentially Foreman, but I'm going to lean Perine due to what Emerson said about their implied point total. I'll take that. And Pierce, obviously, I think has the best workload out of all these guys. So I will, Pierce and Perine.
I will take P. Ryan. The reason I would knock Foreman out is because the matchup. It's a tough matchup against the Broncos. And then I am between Murray and Pierce. I do think there's some TD upside with Murray this week against a very, very soft Carolina defense. And so that's where I'm at. I feel like, in a PPR league, I'm going to go Pierce. In a standard or in half PPR, I'm going to go Murray.
All right, sounds good. Then we got Swavy JP in the chat. Thoughts on Cordell Patterson for the rest of the season? His projection is only 8 PPR points this week. Is that a little too low? Well, you really don't want to be so concerned with the projections as much as you want to be concerned with the amount of time that he's on the field and the opportunities that he's getting in the offense. It feels like that group is a committee. Like, you are going to have to kind of battle his starts and sits week in and week out. I do feel like he's someone that's going to be reliable for you. It's not like you're looking to dump him off of your team onto the waiver wire. It's just going to be about knowing when the right week to start him is. I don't know if I love this week. The Commanders' rushing defense has been better in recent weeks, and they're also they're going to get Chase Young back. That doesn't matter for weeks going on, but they've been looking better the past few weeks. So this week may not feel like that it's the best week to start him if you can get off of him. But I think that he could be a reliable piece for you going into the fantasy playoffs. What do you think about his outlook, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, Patterson, I think he's going to benefit from Pitts not being on the field. It's not a ton of targets, but there's usually a correlation between tight ends and running backs. And unless there is, a situation where, like, when Zach Ertz was out, the Dallas Goedert went in. When Mark Andrews is out, Isaiah Likely's in. And, like, you don't really have that in this situation for the Falcons. And so I do think they rely on Patterson. And I think one of the best ways to slow down a pass rush, an aggressive pass rush, is tossing the ball to the running back, doing screens, things like that. And I think that's where Patterson's going to make his hay. But I do agree with you that, like, the upside's limited. He's not getting 20 touches. He's probably going to get more of like a Kamara, Aaron Jones type of workload in a worse offense.
Andrew, what do you think about Cordell Patterson's outlook for the rest of this season?
I think down the stretch he'll be used a lot more than he's currently being used now. So I do like him, rest of season here. I'm trying to pull up his schedule to see. All right, so let's see here. So we got obviously a bye week 14, week 15 New Orleans at New Orleans, week 16 at Baltimore, week 17 versus Arizona. Obviously you shouldn't be in a league that plays into week 18. So I don't love the schedule. But I do think his workload is going to increase the rest of the year. So I mean, I wouldn't say that you have a locked in starter by any means, but there's enough potential there that he's still a flex in my eyes, as far as, what he's going to be able to do on the ground and the opportunities he's going to get. So I do think he's the best running back there. So I don't mind him rest of the year, but I don't think that he's any better than a flex.
Fair enough. Oh, sorry. What do we think about Taysom Hill this week, aka the QB1? In your heart, he's the QB1.
If you don't have a strong tight end and you're projected to lose, throw Taysom Hill in there. Like, it's the upside that you're chasing. Like, if you put Taysom Hill in there and you're projected 50-50 on sleeper, like, there's more than a 50% chance you're gonna lose that tight end matchup. But there is. So you're saying there's a chance. I mean, there is a world out there where he gets 3 touchdowns, and it happens once every 7 or 8 weeks. You just gotta, you gotta hope you're right.
I like it. I really don't think I could say it any better. If you're desperate, by all means, put him in the driver's seat. But if it's more of a even race, to start the week after the 3-game slate, maybe you stay off of him. What do you think, Andrew?
Oh man, Taysom Hill is probably the biggest boom or bust, candidate, right? Like, he's either going to get you 2 points or can potentially score you 3 touchdowns. So yeah, I mean, I fully agree. If you're projected to lose by a bunch, you might as well throw him in here because he could go out and score 2 or 3 touchdowns. You just never know what they're going to do with him. So I mean, I was just trying to look here to see. I have him currently ranked as tight end 15. I don't feel awesome about that. But yeah, I mean, again, he's very boomer bust. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. If you're losing, throw him in there. If you're projected to win, I would try to peel off him and go with somebody else.
I have him at tight end 25.
Tight end 24. I would say he's a landmine that I would throw out on the waiver wire and just let someone else deal with it. Like it's, that's the situation. Or someone you see someone needs a tight end, throw Taysom Hill on the addition to the trade and see if you can upgrade another position. I just I'm a risk adverse, and when it comes down to playoffs, the last thing you need is for someone to just give you a donut. Or God forbid he doesn't do anything on the ground but throws 2 interceptions. That could happen. And so you just don't want that.
If you saw an injury to Kamara or even Olave, I feel like you would feel more comfortable throwing him out in those more casual scenarios where you're even or it's a close race to start the week or whatever, even if it's a late game situation and you make a late switch, right? Like if you're still even, through the first 1 o'clock set of games, and you see those injuries and you see more opportunity, he could be a play. But with them loaded up right now, at least without only missing Michael Thomas, it doesn't feel as safe. We got Brian back saying he forgot to add Josh Palmer to the start 2 question. So Pierce, Murray, Ryan, Foreman, Palmer. I would definitely put Palmer into that mix. Again, I'm still off of Ryan due to the matchup. So in that scenario, I would go Palmer and Pierce. You guys throwing in Palmer there?
Yeah. I throw Palmer in there, but I would actually replace Pierce. I would put Ryan and Palmer in there. I know the matchup up the front as far as running, it's not going to be great, but Ryan's been more the pass catching back anyways, and so I like his potential of getting some goal line touches, but I do think they use him in the air.
Yeah, I have Pierce and Ryan pretty close. That's why I chose those 2 originally. I would definitely put Palmer in there. Flip a coin between those 2. I think I'll still take Pierce. But yeah, definitely have Josh Palmer in there for sure.
All right, we got Brendan back saying Jeff Wilson Jr. or James Conner. I did this one yesterday. I'm going with Jeff Wilson. Matchup's too good. If they do get into that park the bus up big type of narrative, I feel like he could get a handful of extra carries, maybe even an extra touchdown. And the matchup is just not favorable to wide receivers against Houston. They've allowed the most fantasy points to the running back position this year.
And Raheem Mostert is doubtful.
Yep.
All right, so we got Jeff Wilson sweep there. Start Miami defense over the 49er defense. I can stash Seattle defense for week 13 and 14 by dropping Miami or roll with them. Well, I definitely like Miami this week. I'm expecting them to get maybe 2 or 3 sacks at minimum. Now what they can do with that, can they get to the big house? Can they find pay dirt? This week feels like they can. I feel like the Saints can still put up some points on the 49ers, even if they go up big. So I like Miami here. I like to hold them.
I'm trying to look up who Seattle has week 13, 14 to see what the hold is for
what
here.
The deal is for there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know off the top of my head. What do you think so far, Dave?
Yeah, Miami's defense has not really been much, and you have San Francisco, who's been one of the top defenses. So I have San Francisco over Miami this week, even with the Houston matchup. So I would do that, and then to look at Seattle's schedule, that'd be helpful. But for me, if you can stash them, it's great.
Seattle is versus the Rams week 13, and then versus the Panthers week 14.
That's nice.
It's not bad.
That doesn't suck. Honestly, I have Miami and the 49ers defense decently close, so I would probably drop one of those 2 and hold on to this. I guess it really depends. If you're already locked in and you don't need them week 13, 14, then I wouldn't do this. I would keep Miami and the Niners. But if you need a win and to go in there, then yeah, I'd probably drop the Niners or Miami and keep Seattle so you can roll them out the next 2 weeks.
We got good intentions in the chat. Palmer or Sutton down because of JJ. Ouchie. I I'm not a Broncos person. I'm not been on the Broncos this year, but with Keenan back, I feel like Sutton's the play here. But man, he's got such a better quarterback. That Palmer being it's tough for me. I'll go Palmer by a hair.
I have Palmer one spot ahead of Sutton, and I just, a lot of predicting fantasy football is trying to predict the game script, and I could just see Carolina and Broncos being one of those games that's done super quick because they're just running the ball, and then you got Arizona and the Chargers are going to be a more high-scoring game, and they're going to be airing it out, and so I'm going to go with the upside of Palmer if he's down.
I mean, I totally agree with you guys. I think Sutton's opportunities, I think he could potentially get double-digit targets, this week. So I'll take Sutton strictly on that. But yeah, I mean the Palmer, the Arizona and Chargers game is supposed to be much more high scoring. So I mean, I'm not going to fight anybody if you want to start Palmer. I just think Sutton's opportunities are a little bit more this week.
I have Sutton one spot ahead of him, but I would still probably lean Palmer. And again, like I agree with you. Like you get a good matchup up against Carolina, who allows a lot of fantasy points to wide receivers. It's just hard for me to trust Russell Wilson this season. Did you guys see the video of the guy who put a hex on him?
Oh yeah, I did.
It's hilarious. It's driving me crazy. Let's see here. You guys want to let's do a tight end starter sit, and then we'll try to put together the touchdown prop again this week.
Sounds good.
All right, let's see. I'm going to stay off of Greg Dulcich because we just got done talking about them. Let's see. Tyler Higbee or Cole Kmet? Ouch. Tyler Higbee at Kansas City or Cole Kmet at the Jets?
Is Higbee good to go? I know he's questionable.
Is Higbee? I believe so.
Yeah.
Hang on one second.
He's questionable. That's all I got. And I know that Allen Robinson's questionable, and he's not expected to play.
So
I'm pretty sure the Rams are just like, if you can get KC in any DFS lineup or anything you can get, like they are my number one defense this week. The Rams have just packed it in, and it's going to be a bloodbath. Like, no thanks.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I'll take Kmet. Simeon he's not, I'm not excited about Simeon, but he's not the worst option in the world.
Yeah, I'll
he
take
actually
Kmet
looked good
as well.
in preseason.
Yeah, I'll take Kmet as well. Also about the Chiefs, they have a really good fantasy playoff schedule. So if you can go grab them, hold them until the fantasy playoffs because they have a very good stretcher.
Yep.
Some of these leagues, man, they just never stop letting you trade. I like people are asking all these trade questions. I'm like, how is this even possible? Like all my leagues have passed the deadline, other than like a few dynasty ones that let the trades roll on because of the the platform.
Yeah, we usually let them roll till the playoffs start.
Yeah, most of my leagues already have it cut off, so I'm gonna be done trading. But hey, if you can still make moves, make them. If there's
Full
moves.
PPR, running back and flex, P. Ryan, Boyd, and Murray.
You guys know where I'm going with this one.
Yeah, I'll take P. Ryan and Boyd.
Yeah, a lot of P. Ryan and Latavius questions.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I'll go with Boyd and Latavius. Don't be surprised you see that Chris Evans touchdown this week, boys.
Yeah, that's fine by me. I have him in a lot of best ball.
So I'm saying, like, just don't be surprised. Like, P. Ryan was a surprise last week, and this is probably the only week that he's going to be able to like have some service in fantasy. Just don't be surprised if they don't, wheel him out like the prize of Cincinnati. Okay, let's jump into putting together some touchdown props. We missed the interception ones last week, but we were exclusively using underdog. Now we can roll into some of the online betting since I have access. Who do you guys like from Tampa and Cleveland? Is it Nick Chubb, Rachaad White? Who do you guys like?
Yeah, I like Rachaad White. Cleveland's run defense is not very good. They're about middle of the pack. Obviously, all the weather in this game, they're going to want to run the shit out of the ball. And I think Rachaad White is very kind of underappreciated. Like he's a very good running back. You know, that was somebody I was high on before the season started, and I think now that he's going to be able to get 90% of the workload himself, you know, I definitely believe that he should get a touchdown. I mean, I like Chubb as well, but between the two, I'd rather take White.
So the Browns field had some vandalism. Somebody went on the field and did a donut all over the grass.
That was me.
And so I'm looking at a picture right now. Field Yates just retweeted it.
I'm going to tell you right now, that was an enterprise vehicle. Someone rented that vehicle.
Yeah, it's probably a Home Depot situation.
So are we concerned about this?
No, but it's just
okay.
like everyone go look it up. Like it's odd.
Okay. All right. So Rachaad White, is that the pick here?
Yeah.
We're good with that. All right. We're rolling on.
Oh, are we doing one per game?
Oh, we can do as many as we want.
We don't have to pick any from that game too.
I was gonna say, it's like,
we can only do 4 or 5. So
no. We're not doing the underdog.
Oh, so yeah, we can do as many as we want, but I mean we
so
know
what's our confidence out of 10? I feel like Rachaad White this week. I feel like Rachaad White's kind of like an 8, and Nick Chubb is like a 7 as far as like my out of 10 confidence.
Yeah, Chubb's got a tougher matchup. I mean, they're stout at the middle with Vita Vea and and company. So I think they both have a good shot. So
let's put it in there, and then if we want to take it out, if we find 5 or 6 that we really like over that, we can always take it out. I have like 2 or 3 that come to mind that I really like this week. But
all right, Bengals and Titans. Any full confidence plays here? Derrick Henry's paying -225.
Yes, that's so much juice.
I don't like it because of that. I don't like having to pay for it.
Yeah, do either one of you guys have a strong feeling on Boyd or Higgins? I feel like one of them at least will score a touchdown because again, the Titans suck against the pass.
Yeah,
so.
and they just had some secondary injuries. I would put it on Higgins.
I was feeling the same way, but that one, my confidence is still like a 6 or a 7. All right, so we'll put him in. We'll come back to the full card, and we'll review our ones. Dolphins and Texans. Jeff
Wilson. Yeah,
gotta be.
Jeff Wilson 2 TD prop might be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'll be floored if he doesn't score a touchdown.
So we'll put in the one. He's -200.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
right. Well, we'll leave it because you get a lot in. All right, next up, Bears and the Jets.
Yikes, hard pass.
Carter or Robinson? Bears are bad against the run. Let me see what the odds are. Like if we get a really good, no. Michael Carter's at +130, Robinson's at +160. For either of those picks, I'd like to get like +180 or more.
Yeah, I think we can probably pass that game. That game's just going to be a mess.
All right. Let's Falcons and Commandos.
Oh man,
Marcus
this is a tough
Mariota?
one.
Marcus Mariota? Does he run one in? See what I got here.
I mean, it's probably better to take one of the Commanders' running backs, whether it's Gibson or Robinson. The problem is that Ron Rivera doesn't know what the fuck to do here. He just every week it's different. Against the Eagles, they run Brian Robinson a zillion times, and then last week against the Texans, it's Antonio Gibson, which makes no sense. It should have been Brian Robinson. So I don't know what to lean that way.
I'm gonna pass on this game.
I agree with the
tough.
pass.
Yep.
I agree with the pass as well. Broncos and Panthers. DJ Moore?
I'm DJ Moore has scored touchdowns. I'm gonna go with Latavius Murray, and I know we talked about him a lot earlier. I just that Carolina front is just bad. Like
DJ Moore's at +115 this week. They know something I don't.
I mean, no, because Surtain's going to be on him, right?
Yeah,
doesn't he have his boy Sammy D back in the lineup?
Oh yeah, that's sure. Yeah, that's something.
I mean, whenever we've seen Sam Darnold and DJ Moore together, DJ Moore has been relevant. I don't know.
It scored touchdowns though.
I scored 4.
Wow, did Sammy D throw all those? I mean, he had a whole bunch of points, PPR points.
That's fair.
Season. I can't remember if he scored many touchdowns.
No, I was talking about last season. He had 4.
Yeah, last season. He like beginning of the year, he was nice.
What about Dulcich? He's at plus 225. Or are we just off this game?
I mean, Dulcich is. Nah, yeah. Let's. I'd rather be off this game. This game's hard as well.
Ravens or Jaguars?
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews is the answer. Plus 105.
Yeah, I think he scores 2 touchdowns, actually.
Oh, you think he scores 2 touchdowns?
I
How many
do.
is Kelsey going to have today? Huh? Yeah.
Listen, I have Andrews is my most exposed tight end in the underdog battle royales for sure. I think Kelsey's going to score more points, but I think Mark Andrews is going to have 2 touchdowns for sure.
All right, let's go. Hey, I hope that's the case. All right, Chargers and Arizona. You just go with the Eck?
Yeah, Eckler, Hopkins,
Eckler and
Connor, Palmer. I mean, pick one out of the hat, man.
Yeah, this has got to be the highest scoring game on the slate. I think it's.
Let's do Connor. He's at minus 150. Eckler's at minus 200.
Yep.
You good with it?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Like we're on the same page here. Raiders, Seahawks. Kenny?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Him or DK. I think DK actually could have a big day as well.
DK's at plus 130. Kenny's at minus 140, and Devontae's at minus 150.
What's Lockett at?
Lockett is at plus 125.
Yeah, I like Kenny. I think that's the easy one, going with Ken Walker.
I concur.
Yeah, that's fine.
Chiefs, Rams, got to be Kelsey.
Yeah,
I would imagine so.
He's at minus 300, though. Do we want to pivot off of that?
What's Chiefs defense at?
Oh, yeah, that's not
KC defense is plus 290. Dare we?
I mean, it's dangerous for sure. The whole card deck can crumble on that one. But
what do you guys think about Isaiah Pacheco at minus 190?
Pacheco.
Him or Kelsey? You get much better juice on Pacheco.
What's Juju at?
Good question. I think he's not even on here. Hang on a second.
Juju playing?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
He's playing, yeah. But MGM does not have him. Yeah, no, not available.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with either, Kelsey or Pacheco.
Let's go with Kelsey. Let's play it safe for a game that we feel like could get out of hand early. All right, so right now, we have Rachaad White, T. Higgins, Jeff Wilson, Mark Andrews, James Conner, Kenneth Walker, and Travis Kelce.
What's the odds on that parlay?
Plus 4,718. So a $10 bet pays $481. I think have we gone far enough here?
It's pretty
good.
We've
gone. If we haven't gone too far, we've definitely gone far enough.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the Higgins might be asking a little bit too much out of this group, because I don't want to get caught with my pants down there. But the other ones I still feel really good about. The Higgins one is the only one that I'm looking at here that feels somewhat dangerous.
Do you think that the Titans could be leading this game into the fourth quarter?
Yeah, sure. Oh, like in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, like towards the end of the game.
I mean, the Bengals have been a mid-tier run defense. They're not great, but they're not terrible. It really all depends on the Derrick Henry usage. Like, anytime that he's in the game and he's healthy and he's getting that run, he's getting that volume, you have to anticipate the opportunity that the opposing offense could be kept off the field, because that's their bread and butter, right? So, yeah, there's definitely potential for that narrative to play out. But if they are ahead in the fourth quarter, then you're going to see that volume opposite, right? For Higgins, for Boyd, etc. My concern is that if that narrative does play out, if they are eating the clock, if they're owning the time of possession, the Titans, that is, that you just only see those few opportunities for the Bengals to take shots or get into the red zone. That's it. That's the only thing that really scares me about Higgins in this one, because like we've said, the matchup provokes, us to, attack these receivers, Boyd, Higgins, even, potentially P. Ryan or, Hurst, whatever, and some deeper, opportunities.
So do you feel better about Henry? Do you want to make that swap?
Like Derrick Henry for T. Higgins?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to lose some juice for sure.
I mean, yeah.
Like right now, we take Higgins out, just out of the card period. We're down to plus 2,090. So that plus option is definitely adding. They're giving us some payback for it. So that 481 off a $10 bet goes down to 219.
And if you replace it with Henry?
Let me take a look. Hang on 1 second. So we add Henry. I know he was minus 200, I think.
Yeah.
It was 200. All right, getting to it now. Derrick Henry minus 225. It's up to plus 3,000. So you do get a good amount of jump still. So that $10 turns into 316.
Yeah.
Yeah, that changed things a lot.
Any other concerns here? I mean, Kelsey, Walker, Connor, Wilson, White.
I mean, we haven't. I know the hype is there, and I know that everybody is super excited for Rachaad White, and it makes me nervous when everybody gets so excited about a player, because the expectations, like if he doesn't score 50 fantasy points, it's gonna be a bad day today, because people are just expecting crazy things. But in reality, 15 to 20 points is a great day for his first start ever, and so you still got Godwin. You still got Mike Evans. Like Mike Evans to score a touchdown is that's pretty standard here.
You're selling me on getting off of Rachaad White. We got.
I mean, remember the weather though. That's like the key thing for me is this weather is just going to be awful in that game. So I don't know.
We've got Brad, the fantasy bourbon man, in the chat saying, "Does DJ M eat today?" I was saying so, but my co-hosts here feel like he's eating humble pie.
Yeah, I'm not sure he eats. Could he have an okay day? I could see him catching 4 or 5 balls for 60, 70 yards. Maybe I wouldn't consider that eating. I'm not. If he gets into the end zone, then yes. But does that happen? I doubt it.
Yar.
So looking at his stretch last year where he played with Sam Darnold, he started the season off 8 catches, 80 yards, no touchdown. And then he had 11 catches, 79 yards. 6 catches, 80 yards, and no touchdown. 8 for 79, 1 touchdown. 8 for 126, no touchdowns. Then he had a massive 2-touchdown game. 8, 113, and 2. So you're at a 50% shot here with Sam Darnold.
Were any of those against the Broncos?
No. And then he played against Philadelphia. I don't know if Darnold lasted that long.
Mm-hmm.
And then he played against the Minnesota Vikings. So no touchdowns. So if that happens, because then he went 6 straight after that 2-touchdown game. He went 6 straight games with no touchdown. Then he had 1 touchdown, and then he had 5 straight with no touchdowns. Just used it all up in that one game.
What do we think about going deeper in the card here for these props into that Niners Saints game and maybe scooping up CMC for Rachaad White? We also have the Packers and Eagles. We could throw in a Miles Sanders or an AJ Brown.
You have Jalen Hurts in that game.
You want a Jalen Hurts any-timer?
Yeah, I mean, you got that. You got Christian Watson would be interesting. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
I don't like the juice for Jalen Hurts for an anytime. He's only at minus 115. Like, that should be plus money. That's a good one. Allen Lazard had 11 targets last week, plus 120 for Allen Lazard. And Allen Lazard also has not gone more than 2 weeks this season without a receiving touchdown.
There you go. Well, hey, we're going to leave it on an Allen Lazard note. I'm going to take off.
All right.
You guys have a good one. Enjoy your Sunday and good luck.
Sounds good, sir. You do the same. All right. So bringing in Allen Lazard now, if we keep the card the exact same way that it is, it's at plus 6,859.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dear. So do we keep? So do we just like trust our guns here and keep Rashad in there? I mean, this is a lot of touchdowns.
It is. Yes, that is. It's a lot.
This is a lot of tutties.
Oh man, it's tough.
Damn.
I mean, I'm okay keeping him in there personally.
All right, so just running down the list again, and the chat should be interested in this because we're going to give this money away to the chat. So if you were in here and we win this, yeah, that's what we did last week. If we win it, the money's going to somebody in the chat. So Rashad White, Jeff Wilson, James Conner, Ken Walker, Travis Kelce, Derrick Henry, Alan Lazard. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's that? 8?
It's like 8 picks.
Yeah.
It's 8 touchdowns. It's a lot of touchdowns.
I say let's ride with it. Why not?
Let's ride. All right, we're only doing a $5 bet, chat. Sorry. Whatever, that nets them like $300. I'm keeping the extra 47. Sorry. It's in.
All right.
If we hit it, we'll definitely, show off and flex for sure. But for now,
did you
we'll just wait
only
and see if we win it.
download BetMGM, by the way?
For now, yeah. I just got a bunch of free stuff from them. That's all. No, like Win. I'll rake Win over. Whenever they become live here, they're not live yet. Because we obviously get a bunch of promos. There are they're keeping the lights on over here. So
yep, I see James Robinson was just changed from healthy to out.
Oh damn, we missed the Michael Carter window. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, so he's out. That's okay. That sucks.
I definitely would have taken the Michael Carter prop had I known that. I might do that on my own elsewhere. I know that we were saying to be off that game, but like I said, the Bears rushing defense is bad. And this team right now, they've shown complete reluctancy to win. They're completely off of winning. Like, come on. Like they're going to be bad today, I'm assuming. Don't get me wrong, like Trevor Siemian didn't look that bad in preseason, and I know what you're looking at me with that funny face like it's preseason. Like Bailey Zappi looked good in preseason, and look what happened. Okay, like you can take those you can take some of those like short-term observations, to make larger span arguments. Yeah. I love that Carter bet even more. Appreciate you, Brad. He had 9 targets last year with Mike White. Yar. Thank goodness I'm starting some Michael Carter today. I'm going to hit up Sebastian really quick to see if he's going to jump on. Usually he gets in on the last half hour or so. Any potential start sits that you have on your own that are concerning you today, Andrew?
Yes, I do. Hold on, let me pull up. I think I have 2 leagues that I know I'm kind of not sure what to do here. So pick 2 running backs here: Dameon Pierce, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, or Rashad White.
Sorry, I only heard the last few. One more time.
Dameon Pierce, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, or Rashad White. Pick 2.
Well, we got to do Rashad White, and then you got to take your pick of those running backs for DC. I'm still on the Gibson train. It's the guy that I've been beating the drum for here preseason, throughout the season. I just think he looks better still. So yeah, I would go Gibson and Rashad White there.
Okay. Same league here, and again, I need to win in this league. I'm like on the cusp of playoffs, so I have to win here. Flex Chris Olave, Dameon Pierce, Brian Robinson, Michael Pittman, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson.
I feel like Devontae Smith is the name there. One more time for me.
Olave.
Yep.
Pierce.
Brian
Robinson. Pittman. Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I still go Devontae Smith there. We had talked about it earlier. Dallas Goedert being out definitely propels his value and his utility in that offense. Didn't like what I saw from Jack Stoll. I don't think the other guy, Caltatara, whatever the hell his name is, he didn't really get included much other than blocking. So yeah, give me some Devontae Smith there.
Okay.
Let's see. This person said Josh Jacobs is confirmed out today. Son of a bitch. Son of a whore. That is not cool.
Let's see. It's weird. Like this morning,
I threw my football on the ground.
I saw this morning that everything was like he's likely to play, but probably not 100%. So that is surprising.
Surprising. It's disappointing. He's in my damn underdog card.
They will replace that for you, by the way. I don't know if you know that or not. They'll take an underdog has it now where it'll just take the highest ranked player at that position and stick them in there. So you don't take a 0.
What?
Yeah. Justin Fields also out confirmed here now.
Well, we knew that was coming, but
yeah.
How can they do that? How can they do that?
Well, because I mean, it's not like anybody else can go in and pick a player up, so they just take it with the highest. It happened to me like 2 weeks ago. I was like,
so this is great for me.
Yeah, it doesn't suck. It's fine.
It doesn't suck. It's amazing. I automatically get the top player at the running back position.
Yes, you will get whoever is left at the running back position. So it sucks that you can't go in and see who that's going to be. You'll be able to see it once the game starts.
Wait. Is it the highest total on the board for the day, or is it the highest total of someone who wasn't picked?
Correct. Yeah, the second part.
Okay.
Yes, I was gonna say. I was like, how do you not understand?
So if Michael Carter wasn't drafted and he goes off for some crazy day,
no. So like, let's say right now Dameon Pierce was the highest projected person. That's who's at the very top. That's who you're getting. It's whoever's left on the board that has the highest projection.
Got it. Okay,
and they'll immediately slot them in for you.
It's kind of bullshit.
I mean, yeah. So you're kind of
it's better than a 0.
Yes,
it's better than a 0. But let me see if it actually like adjusted my thing yet, because I just want to see like who I got. That is interesting.
I'll have another start sit for you as well.
Go ahead, fire away.
So Guillotine League flex position. It can be, and again, I'm going to read off a bunch of names here to you. This is PPR. Alan Lazard, Aaron Jones, Tyler Boyd,
Jesus,
Devontae Smith, Rashad White.
Christ, I got to pick one?
Yeah, I say it's Guillotine League, so I mean, there's only 7 teams left. So there's a lot of good players out there, and I just happen to take a bunch of them. So yeah, again, like I got to
go Aaron Jones still. Like I know that they got. Was it?
Oh no, never mind. I'm not going to play. I was going to say I was going to ask you if it differs if I play Lazard, but I'm not going to play Lazard because it'll either be one or the other. It's not going to be both. I already have Amon-Ra St. Brown went. I have Higgins slotted in there, so I'm taking Higgins. Like for me, it was between Lazard, Aaron Jones, and Rashad White. I just don't know who to take. Jacobs is playing. Don't listen to fake news.
Unreal. Well, Matt Gamble just got himself out of the TD prop selection, if that's the case.
I'll say I see here it says this was when was that? This was at 9 a.m. this morning. Josh Jacobs is expected to play, probably not with a full workload as he is working back to 100%, but he should still have a big role in the offense. So that's kind of contradicting what the hell it's saying, but it does say that he's likely to play. Let me see what it says on like Yahoo's shit here. Or Sleeper.
I'm going to the Twitter machine here because we got old Matt. We've got conflicting information in the chat. It's not very kind. It's not cool.
This was just updated on Yahoo at 11:17 this morning. Adam Schefter reports Josh Jacobs is likely to play, barring any setbacks during warmups.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing any reliable tidbits on the latest column on Twitter. We'll see what more information rolls in there. We've got Brad in the chat saying targets should be funneled to Devontae because Alexander's on AJB. Oh, and back to that question. Yeah, I go with Aaron Jones because the rushing defense for the Eagles has been bad. I know that they got Lansville Joseph. I know that they have Ndamukong Suh. They've been there another week, which is good, but it's still like a group that's trying to find their identity, to really find that efficiency. And I'm betting with the Aaron Jones volume, he'll be a safe play in that matchup.
Yeah, it's pretty important to play the right people because obviously you need to have the most points scored. If you have the least amount of points scored, you're kicked out. So,
yep. We've got Edward Zhang saying to start 2, Jeff Wilson, Rashad White, Godwin, and Kamara. My goodness.
Man.
I feel like this one might be an opportunity to sit Godwin because of the weather. We've already talked about it a little bit. When you have options like Wilson, who has a great matchup up against Houston, and you have Rashad White, who should be funneled more touches because of that weather, this feels like an okay situation to get off of Godwin and Kamara. We've already mentioned that we're off of Kamara. What is with this? What is with these people? Stop it! Stop it! Go away! Go away! Got Emron in the chat. Morning, sir. Man, the myth, the legend. Don't take any more injury information from the chat, please. They're drunk this morning. But yeah, I go Aaron Jones there. That's where I'm at.
Okay. I do agree as well. And the last question, Wilson and White for me.
Mike White, the great Mike White.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's my league.
Yeah.
I thought Perkins was picked up in our league though.
Yikes. I guess Mike White.
Yeah, Mike White's the answer for me. Bears defense has been pretty recreational, we'll say. Even when Fields is playing well, like getting rid of Quinn and Rowe didn't do as much, but been riding that. Not our league. Damn. So that's happening to Emron double time. Damn. Then if that's the going no QB in our league, oh damn, that's terrible. That's terrible. I did see that actually. I forgot about that. Why are you suggesting players that aren't even playing? Stop it. It's not true. Block those fools. We'll let them hang out for a little bit, but that's all right. They keep it up. They're going to get the axe, that's for sure. We're just trying to help people out here. I don't know why people got to be coming in suggesting players that aren't even in. I know it, buddy. I know it. I get it. All right, let's get back to some starter sits here. If the chat wants to, throw in some actual questions rather than heresy, that'd be welcomed. Let's go back to your Commandos matchup: Marcus Mariota or Taylor Heineke. Same game. Where are you going?
Oh, I guess Marcus Mariota. I think he's more likely to run a touchdown in than Heineke is. I do also think that the Commanders are leading this game, so I think that they'll have to pass a little bit more as well. So yeah, I'll take Mariota.
We got Gary back in.
Hey,
what's up, Gary? You change your clothes?
Yeah. I had to take that sweatshirt off, man.
What's up?
Backgrounds?
I did. It got cloudy in here.
I have to walk down the other one. What is that? Wayne's World or whatever?
That was Wayne's World. Very good. This is that's very good. Very good.
Very good, dude. I'm 52 years old. I mean, that movie came out while I was in high school.
Right? Oh, there you go.
Right. I remember
you were in high school.
I won't talk.
Oh my God. Damn. Yeah. I was born in 90.
1990 or 69. God, I'm so old I can't remember.
Well, that makes sense because I'm an 89er, so that puts you 20 years older than me. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
A bunch of
we got all sorts of the backgrounds here. We're always ready to adapt. You never know where you might find yourself.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I've seen.
So what's up? You back to talk some IDP, some DFS?
Sure.
What's happening?
Sure, yeah, whatever. Hang out, listen. What's up?
Hang out,
questions?
Party.
Nothing.
You like?
All right.
Gary likes to party. Yeah, we're coming up here.
I used to party.
Used to party. I see you over here smoking cigs and fatty cigars. I mean, God knows what's in them. We don't know.
Yeah, no, I had to give up the actual partying. That's just the leftovers.
The leftovers. My bad.
Oh, so you were doing nose beers back in the day?
No, I can't say I've ever done those.
Okay.
Right. Nose bears. You're gonna have to light me, man. You can't leave me hanging. What the hell is it?
Nose beer?
Yeah,
it's cocaine.
It's cocaine.
Yeah, nose beers.
I don't know the answer to that question. Then
George says, "Gary, you remember we used to meet at the park for the nose beers?"
Yeah. I've never heard it put that way, but no, I've never sucked beer up my nose.
That's good. That's solid. Yeah, it's a good plan.
Oh, that's great. We lost a viewer because of that. Sorry, guys.
I apologize.
Just not the well-rounded family program that people are expecting this Sunday morning.
Hey, if you want the family program, go watch a shitty ass ESPN.
Yeah. Commercials.
They're not so.
I'm watching their so like I watch like Fantasy Today on Sunday mornings just to see like what they're saying.
Right.
And half the time I'm like, no. I'm like that's just not right. It's bad information.
Matthew Berry left. Arrivederci. I would watch fantasy football today. Like when we were give us 8 years ago, 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't as many podcasts and stuff like this going on. Fantasy Pro certainly wasn't running a Sunday morning show at that time. So
we should look at it. They're helping the industry for us, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Because people take their dumbass advice and then they're just like, oh no, I actually need someone that does this all the time.
So you got to imagine how excited I'm going to be if I'm still alive, if this IDP ever goes mainstream, because that's when we'll know it's mainstream, when somebody like ESPN or or
That's
us
true.
just
That's true.
us keeps growing and hits that plateau, but I'll probably be dead. So yeah. So
Jesus.
It's an outlook. It's not a positive one, but it's an outlook nonetheless.
yeah, right. I've been waiting on it for 7 years. I was one of those guys, come in IDP. I said, yeah, we're going to help this grow. This is going to make this mainstream. And every year there's just a whole nother group that comes in and joins in and does that.
That's true.
But,
well, and also just like regular fantasy is kind of expanded. Like when I started playing fantasy, people weren't playing in Dynasty. They weren't playing in super flex leagues, So I feel like the offensive side, the Dirty O side of things is also continuing to grow. We have DFS, awesome platforms like Underdog doing like the battle royales and stuff like that.
Right.
So it always feels like the offensive side is growing. And because people just or not people, but IDP doesn't have that popularity, other than
it's
like
stifled.
Exactly. Because
Right.
if you don't have IDP out in front and center, it doesn't have any room to grow. You really can't expand it. And people try it recreationally, like most of my leagues honestly have it. What's that?
Like nose beer?
Like nose beer. Yeah, it's a
Right.
recreational thing. You got to try it at least once. Don't knock it till you try it. You're muted, bud.
I am. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
you're
you
right.
are.
Yeah.
God,
It's
dang,
okay.
God dang nose bears. All right. Let's someone just tossed something in here. I may or may not have slept with Gary in 2008.
Oh my
Jesus.
goodness. Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
This
Must have been
chat
memorable
is
if she
off the
remembers
charts
I'm
today.
scared to death of what could come next, man.
If she remembers, if she remembers the year, and that was 2008, it must have been pretty memorable. So nice.
I'm glad my wife doesn't watch these.
I just figured it was your wife, but all right, fair enough. I may or may have not have slept with Gary in 2008. I'm enjoying this Sunday. This is good. Yeah, it's like,
I did not look like this then. So come on, you got to be.
Come
kidding
on.
me.
It's the voice, Gary. It's the voice.
Yeah, that's the Briar shit coming out of my mouth. Right, I got it.
Unfortunately, Sebastian is not going to be able to make it on today, the fantasy football doc. So we can just roll through some injury updates, I reckon. Not expected to play today. These are real. Don't listen to the chat. Jamar Chase, we've already mentioned. Raheem Mostert been ruled out. Justin Fields, sorry, Emron. Greg Dortch, who had a nice little reprise in week 11. He is not going to be playing today. Allen Robinson as well, ruled out. We've already mentioned Joe Mixon, Leonard Fournette, Jerry Jeudy, Isaiah Likely, KJ Hamler, Mike Williams, Rondell Moore, Kadarius Toney, Romeo Dubes, and Jalen Warren. Still game time decisions. Terrace Marshall Jr., also someone who's been surging a little bit. Tyler Higbee, as we've mentioned earlier, we're not too confident to start him. Players expected to play: Gus Edwards, Devin Duvernay, Logan Thomas, Josh Jacobs, all you goons in the chat, and Deebo Samuel. Where did that Deebo Samuel injury come up?
I don't know. I also saw Matt Stafford is also ruled out.
Matthew Stafford is ruled out. We kind of expected that one.
Yep.
Gary gave me herpes. Gary, you have quite the crowd following you.
Jesus, Gary.
Like you're.
I remember that one.
Oh, okay.
I remember that one.
I hope you got that checked out.
All right.
Yeah, I hope you did. Was
I
that in
did. It
2008? Can we get a date on that, Nancy?
Oh, Jesus.
Can we get a timestamp on that? What's up with that?
Let's be honest. They're all here. If these women are actually watching, they're all here for you, Justin.
Giggity, giggity.
Giggity, giggity.
Oh, I don't have a Family Guy background.
Oh.
It's the OC though.
Oh my God, the OC. Jesus.
Yeah.
So, how did you buy that package? Was it labeled old TV backgrounds? What was
No,
it?
I just find them in my spare. I just find them in my spare time.
Ah, nice.
Whenever I'm just like,
you could make some money, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that because it's not my intellectual property. I just steal it.
Stranger Things.
Right,
There you
right.
go.
I
Nice.
love you too.
Hell yeah. You got a Rick and Morty?
I don't. I should, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should have one of those, man.
I should have a Rick and Morty one. The one that I have is like the same background as what do you call it? The Jesus. All right. Like this is getting a little out of control here. Like I'm not even putting that one up. Like you can't be talking like that in the chat now. Come on now.
Man, now I need to go
There
to
are some
chat.
things I let fly, but you talk about a man's wife, like, I draw the line there, pal.
Oh,
Sorry.
jeez.
Oh,
You-
come on now.
No, you want to come at us, that's cool, but like friends, family, like, they're not on the show. You can make fun of me all you want. All right, let's get into some starter sit questions. We'll roll through another one of each position, and then we'll probably head out for the afternoon because we're coming up on noon o'clock here. We got to get our rankings updated, our lineups filled out. Got to go love our wives because people be dogging them in the chat. All right, quarterbacks. One more quarterback starter sit. Ryan Tannehill versus the Bengals or Russell Wilson at Carolina.
Oh, God.
I'm going Ryan. I'm going Ryan.
Oh. Excuse me, I'd sneeze. I'll take Russell Wilson. I think this could be the day they score more than, 19 points?
Today's the day, you say.
Yep, today's the day.
Yeah, I'm going for Ryan Tannehill.
I think both options suck, so steer clear if you can, but if not, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You can. As long as it doesn't have to do with any of our wives, Brock. What do you got, Brock? Let it rip. Let's see. While we wait on you, we're going to move over to running back. Nope, he already played. We already talked about Isaiah Pacheco. Kenyon Drake at Jacksonville or Kareem Hunt versus Tampa Bay.
Supposed to rain. Is it still raining, Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you said Hunt and who? Oh, Kenyon Drake. Oh, that's tough. I'll
Going
take
with the
Hunt.
Drake. All right.
Yeah,
I just don't trust Gus Edwards with his first week back. Could be any one of those guys, but they've been giving Drake the ball. I'll take it. I mean, I'm more of a cotton man, but the softness,
like silk. Oh my God.
I'm waiting for the punchline here, but I'm a cotton man. I'm rocking some cotton right now, but
he's probably going to ask, what do cows drink? I mean, he thinks we're going to say milk and not water.
Yeah, I don't know. We're waiting for the punchline though, pal. Chat's been rough and rowdy today, so I guess nothing too indifferent from what we've been experiencing. All right, wide receiver. We didn't talk about Paris Campbell earlier, did we?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so give me Paris Campbell versus Pittsburgh or DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones versus Tampa Bay.
I'll take Paris Campbell due to the weather. Hey, is that Patty the Batty? Oh, no, never mind. He's Irish. Wrong
that's true. Man, you can't be disrespectful.
You might have just insulted that gentleman from England.
I know. That's what I was saying.
Well,
You gotta be careful.
when you're a football, or as we call it now, soccer, place, and you tie the United States 0-0, I mean, that's a rough look.
Oh man,
how are we gonna be stunting and flexing on ties, bro? Oh, we tied you.
Hey, it's because there was no expectations. There was no expectations for USA. England was supposed to win like 3-0. Well, guess what? 0-0, baby.
I'm no soccer/football aficionado. But from everything that I know, we suck at soccer and everyone else is better. I mean, call it a pedestrian opinion, but it's just not a game that I follow. So, if that's what we get to flex on, hey man, slam dunk. We tied him. Slam dunk. We got him right where we want him. 0-0. Good God. We're an international brand. We're not, we're trying to love up on everybody. I'm going Paris Campbell there as well. A lot of upside. I believe the Steelers are like 4th or 5th highest in the NFL for touchdowns allowed to wide receivers. So give me a Paris Campbell anytime touchdown today on the low. All right. And tight end. Juwan Johnson at San Francisco or Foster Moreau at Seattle.
Oh, Jesus, that's a tough one. Oh man,
Juwan been scoring them touchdowns.
You're right. Yeah,
He just doesn't have like any like huge upside. I don't think he has a single game over 50 receiving yards this season.
Yeah, I'll take Moreau one more time. You know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again. Fool me 3 times, not good. But yeah, I'll take Foster.
I'm gonna go Juwan. I'm just stuck on him, honestly. Like, I lost Dallas Goedert, I lost Ertz. He's been the guy filling in for me the most consistently, so I'll go with him just off of my own bias and usage. And I don't have Foster Moore rostered anywhere, so I'm just putting out that goodness into the universe. You know what I'm going to need this week.
Yep.
Gary, let me ask you some final start sits for some IDP before we head out.
Sweet.
And then I promise we will head out for the day.
And yeah, I got to get my ointment on and go hug my wife.
Yeah, geez.
Jeez.
And apparently, make sure you turn off your webcam.
Yeah. Was I when?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
chat's like smoking crack today. I love it. I'm here for it, believe me.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I left it on an IDP, guys.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they would have, but I don't know.
You just have some trolls out of your Gary at this point. Gary got me pregnant once. Like,
Pam, the check is in the mail. Jeez.
I don't know.
They find you everywhere, right?
There's no getting off of it. There's no getting off it. You knock somebody up, man.
This is not necessarily what I thought I'd be bringing to the show. Okay, Pam, stop calling me Pam.
Is that Nancy?
No, that's Pam. You didn't see this one?
Pam.
The whole pan situation.
Okay.
So I'm saying Gary's got some goons after him today, man.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but this is not what I
Who
thought.
did
I'd
you
bring
tell
to
to sit Miles Jack? Like, these people are not happy.
right.
Like, these
Or
people
they
are not
played him
happy with you, man.
Or they played him the week that he flopped because he was a last minute out. What was that, 2 weeks ago?
I don't know if you have any pulse on these situations, Gary, but what's up with Cole Holcomb and Devondre Campbell? Are they going to play again this season?
No, Holcomb's on IR now. I think they just put him on IR, and then you have Campbell. I don't know. They've sure held on to him long enough here to. I would have thought that if they were going to IR him, they would by now. So I mean, you got to be anticipating him coming back at some point. There's no real update that I've got.
Right. Excuse me.
I'll take Hurst, by the way, in the question there.
Yeah, I'll take Hurst as well.
Yep.
That's a pretty easy one. And yeah, pay your child support, bud. Get after it. Okay, let's see. Bobby Okereke or Christian Kirksey.
Okereke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Leonard's out of the picture, and with the whole, their ceiling is a lot higher. I like Kirksey's matchup. It's a decent matchup, but I think the floor is the same, but the ceiling is a lot better with Okereke. Yep.
Okereke. Here's a shout out for the Commandos. How about some Cameron Curl or Von Bell?
The match, it's a matchup this week, so definitely Curl. Von Bell will probably still be okay, solid, but I'm going to take Curl on that one.
All right. Let me go defensive line. He already played. Let's stay with the Bengals. Sam Hubbard or Brian Burns.
Oh, Burns. He's actually one of my sleepers. So, and the matchup's a lot more favorable than the Bengals. I know Hendrickson's out, I believe they said, or questionable, but it really doesn't matter. I do like that matchup too, but definitely Burns.
All right. Someone that we've talked about in a couple of weeks ago, and Alex Anzalone, or
he just played Thursday and did very well.
Never mind. Yeah, my bad.
And did very
damn
well.
3-game sets. How about David Long against Cincinnati, or all these guys. Alex Singleton. for the Broncos.
See, now there's your tough one there because Alex Singleton only plays like 50% of the snaps. It's just he gets a tackle every third snap. You know what I mean?
Same.
So that's where. So Long is more of a 90.
So the Broncos are idiots.
90%. Yeah, probably. I mean, Alex Singleton just continues to keep producing no matter where he's put. So people complain because he's not good on film. But geez, I mean, the guy's around the ball every, like I said, second or third snap. I think I think that my tendency would be if this was a standard league, that I'm going to go Long because I think the matchup's pretty solid, and I think the consistency and the safeness is there more than betting on Alexander. Yeah, Singleton, whichever. That's just not enough snaps, man. I mean, if you, if you're splitting the hairs, the safe way would be Long for sure.
All right on. Andrew, you want to toss in any last starter sit questions before we head out?
I'll get to you, Pam.
Just one or two if you got them. Keep it in your pants, Pam. Jesus, like.
Okay. Let's see here. Find some good ones.
Just one or two to take us home.
Let's see here. George Pickens or Josh Palmer?
Josh Palmer.
Palmer, easy.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Okay.
We already said all the. I mean, Emerson really brought it home. He's like what top 5 wide receiver the last 4 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So that's an easier one. Better quarterback, higher scoring. Yeah.
Let's see. Flex, Rachaad White or Tyler Boyd?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, PPR.
Yeah, I still think I go with the running back there. Give me Rachaad White. It's tough though.
Yep. If Higbee plays, Higbee or Everett?
Everett.
Yeah, let's say that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're coming after you now, bud.
All just to
Andrew said,
Oh.
He didn't answer.
He's like, no comment.
Listen, I like to leave it open ended. I don't want to shut a door. I don't know what's on the other side. Let's see here. Russell Wilson or Derek Carr?
Derek Carr.
Okay.
All right, you got one more or no?
No, I'm all good, man.
All right, well, we're gonna head out for the day. Appreciate everyone that rode with us this fine Sunday, especially all you weirdos in the chat. Come
Good
back.
time.
We'll be back every Sunday. And if our touchdown prop hits, then there will be $300 going to one of you in the chat. Probably not one of you that was just talking nonsense, though, because you're probably.
I could use that. Pam could use that.
Pam could use that. Shut up. All right, you guys got anything you want to share before we head out?
I got Kristen Kirk or Latavius Murray.
Kirk.
Flex.
Kirk.
Then you got her.
All right.
Yep. All good, man.
Yep. Be sure to be on the lookout for Gary's content on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. He drops a weekly IDP preview of each week with an article and a podcast as well. Andrew and I will be back on this evening to wrap up Week 12, giving you our instant reactions. Someone had just asked the same question in the chat. Yeah, so we'll be back tonight.
So I popped it up.
Gotcha. Yeah, so me and Andrew will be back tonight to give you our instant reactions and breakdowns. Be sure to look out for that. Come join the chat. Let us know how our starter sit questions worked out. Come give us that, positive or negative feedback. Let us know how we did. And take care. Be well. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you.